I wish I could show you some silkworms alive, but it's not the right time for it. Even if it was the right time, I was not going to show you silkworms, because we decided not to bring silkworms here. Most of them, they die because they forget the door open, they open the window here sometimes. Well, so I have to use the pictures. The silk moth, you can see on this picture, here in these pictures, puts once in its life between 400 and 600 eggs. This happens end of July in Turkey. From those eggs are very little worms or caterpillars coming out, and we have to feed the worms with mulberry leaves. When the worms, when they just come out of their eggs at the beginning, they're so small that they cannot start to eat a big leaf easily by themselves, because the leaf is maybe 10,000 or 50,000 times bigger than the worm. So what we do is, we cut the leaves very small, give them the baby worms, so they can eat easier and maximum. And they eat every day. Every day they get bigger and bigger. The bigger they get, the bigger really the leaves. That takes 45 days. In 45-day time, the worm only sleeps 4 days. 4 times 24 hours with periodic distance. Each distance between 2 sleep means 1 year for the worm, and each sleep means 1 skin changing for the worm. So in the sleep, the worm's skin changes itself, otherwise it can't grow up that fast, because 45 days later it reaches a size of 3-4 inches roughly. And then it stops eating. And it starts to spin around of itself with a kind of a material which is going to be the silk. And the worm takes the silk out from a very little hole just on the top of its mouth. Not from its mouth. That's what they tell you. That's how it looks like when you watch the worm doing that, but it doesn't come out from its mouth. And the silk is a liquid material in the stomach of the worm. Silk is a kind of a soft acid, and it's liquid. And the liquid, when it goes away to come out of that little hole, just before that, it goes through a kind of an oil the worm produces inside non-stop. So liquid, oil, and then when it comes out, with getting in touch with the oxygen, it's not liquid anymore, and 30% of the silk comes out is the oil called sericin. And then the best part to watch begins. The worm doesn't eat, doesn't drink, doesn't sleep 10 days. Just spins around of itself, makes a kind of an egg, starts from the outside, goes to the inside, gets smaller every day, and then 10 days later, the worm capsulizes itself in this material, and it becomes this shape. This is the cocoon. And then we have maximum 24 hours time to kill many worms in the cocoon with the steam of a boiling hot water. Doesn't sound very nice, but if we don't do that, they all come out of the cocoons and break all their fibers. We let many worms coming out to reproduce, otherwise nothing gets for next year. But how is the worm coming out of its cocoon? Look, it's closed all around. Every silkworm, when it stopped spinning around of itself, leaves a small part of the liquid left, which is the silk, which is the acid. And because the worm didn't take it out, the left liquid turns in a short time to a very strong acid. And it hurts the stomach of the worm a lot. And when it hurts enough, means it's ready to take it out from its mouth this time. And the acid is so strong that it burns, dissolves the cocoon, and the whole like this just comes out automatically by itself. From this hole is the worm coming out. Before it comes out, it leaves the 5th and the last skin in the cocoon. Remember, for the time it changed its skin. The 5th stays in the cocoon, comes out, and then it looks totally different. This is the way it is in the cocoon. Leaves the 5th skin in the cocoon, comes out, opens its wings, it looks more like a butterfly, and then the female ones, in 5-day time, they get pregnant, they put their eggs, and they die. The male dies 1 day earlier, and the last skin the moth leaves in the cocoon is fibroin. Fibrin, an important material for the medical industry, because they use them for bandages as well, stop bleeding. So nothing gets wasted. And then the cocoons in which the worms are dead, you can hear the worm in it, we put it across the boiling hot water. We can again make a semicircle around of this machine, because this part is also very interesting. And after the cocoons stayed like 40-45 minutes in this hot water, with the help of this brush, he catches the beginning parts of the fibers. This simple brush makes it so easy to find the beginnings. Did you see this before? If you want to take pictures, you can stay like 3-4 minutes.